Good evening, you beautiful souls. This is a wonderful blessing shout out to Foxy. I just love the Foxy colorist for two reasons. Um, One, because I've been blessed by this little mini sample coloring book that she made for me, specifically for me, so that I could color with the little children. This is absolutely fabulous, and I'm going to do a flip through this. She sent it to me digitally, so this is a really cute coloring book. And then, hey, somebody gifted me this coloring book by the Foxy colorist um, off of my wish list. So yes, as Foxy would say, yes. So let's do that. Let's first start with the. Let's first start with. I really love nursing, and thank you so much, Foxy. Let's start with the coloring pages. So bold and easy, Nurse Annie. Free sample, Foxy colorist. All right. Thank you very much. So cute. Um, and I flipped through this, and I think that I might make up a story and put the story down here. You know how little kids, they love to color and listen to the story? You know? Remember those uh, books that you used to flip through as a child, and you played the little record and it told the story as you looked at the pictures? Well, so that's why I might write a story down here. I don't know. We'll see. Bold and easy, Nurse Annie, Foxy colorist. Nurse Annie. Annie loves nursing. This is why she has hearts on her clipboard. This book belongs to Annie. Nurse Annie, created by Foxy colorist. Nurse Annie loves to test out her crowns before she colors. Do you like to test out your crowns? Color in the circles to see how your crowns look. I'm making this up as I go along. you know, I'm just picturing, what the little kids do. Oh, look how cute this is. And it's Nurse Annie loves the little children and loves to make them feel better. So she gives out little lollipop hearts, which is bad for you because you could get diabetes. And if you get diabetes, then you could get really sick. No, I'm just kidding. This is so cute, Foxy. But you get the gist. I'll make up some kind of story with the pages. This is so sweet when I looked at it. I'm like, look how sweet. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it in my newsletter. I think this size. Yes, I think this size because it's square. And I think I'll, put it in the, have a little rating around it. But yeah, actual picture size in the next newsletter. Oh, look. So cute. We need a wheelchair. We need a service dog. We need a walker. We need a cane. I can see the little kids now. My grandma walks with a walker. How did you get your walker? I can just see it now. So, you explain to them. so they don't feel different, you know. I went to special school, guys. I went to Cherry Street School. I started out in special school because I was born with cerebral palsy. So, let me just tell you a quick synopsis of my life story. So I started out in special school and I did my little exercises. Kids with cerebral palsy have to do exercises, I guess. And I learned my colors and I learned my ABCs. And I always wanted something to do. I guess in special school, it seemed like to me, now mind you, I was a teeny tiny toddler, um, they focus more on physical therapy than they really do the schoolwork. But I remember one time I went out on the playground and I saw all these kids in wheelchairs and stuff like that. And I didn't have a wheelchair, I was just wearing braces. And I said to the teacher, I said, well, who am I supposed to play with? So there was really no kids to play with that I remember, right? And so I guess eventually they figured that I was, more advanced than a special needs school, and I went from Cherry Street School to Indian Avenue School. This was a regular public school. Now, regular public school was hard for me because I had the braces. The kids would beat me up on the playground at recess. I remember these two girls always punched me in the stomach and stuff. So one time I went up to Mrs. Dietz, my teacher, and I said, so and so punched me, and she said, well, did you punch her back? And I'm like, no. And they're like, well, go punch her. So I went clonking over there in my braces and I hit him. And, I guess back in those days, back in the 70s, I guess, you stuck up for yourself. There wasn't none of this, don't touch my kid or I'll call the police. I mean, I guess I was allowed to hit the kids because that's what the teacher told me to do. But you know what? It taught me to be strong. It taught me to stick up for myself, right? Now, I was a pretty bad kid in school as well. I don't know if I was bad. One thing I did like, look at this cute coloring page. What exactly is Nurse Annie doing to little Jimmy? Foxy named him Jimmy. And I'll go with it. Does Jimmy have chickenpox? He's got little dots on his arm there. Is that chickenpox? Does Nurse Jimmy need to be sent home because he's got chickenpox? I mean, Nurse Jimmy. Does Nurse Annie need to send Jimmy home because he's got chickenpox? So getting back to regular public school that I was in, I, was a talker. I loved to talk because, the kids would always laugh because I would do bad things and the kids would laugh. Listen, that's the way you are when you are the class clown. When you want to be the class clown and you don't know what to say or any jokes like that because you're not old, you're just young. We're talking third, fourth, fifth grade, something like that. So I always talked, and so Mrs. Dietz told me to be quiet. Well, I guess I kept talking. I really don't know what happened. All I know is next thing I know, I have a big old wad of masking tape on my mouth. Yes, child. I'm like, and now the whole class is laughing at me because I had this tape on my mouth. So I took the tape, I ripped it off my mouth, wadded it up, and threw it at Mrs. Dietz. And it landed on the back of her hair. It stuck on the back of her hair. And she said, she was mad, and she said, go to the principal's office. Well, I was always going to the principal's office because I liked the principal. You know why I liked the principal? I remember him being a big, tall, fat guy, overweight guy, you know. But when you're little like that, when you're a scrawny little kid, everybody looks big to you, right? So, so anyway, I remember him being a tall, overweight, white-haired gentleman. He sat me down in the chair and he said, "Annie, why are you doing this? You can be better than this. Why are you acting up?" And then he would say, he always gave me a mint. He always gave me a mint. He would say, "Do you want a mint?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." So I would take a mint out of the tray. That's why I always acted up. Because I was a foster kid. I wasn't getting loved at home, right? And so I'd go to school. You know, any attention is good attention, right? So I would act up, always go to the principal's office, and always get, ta-da, a mint. so, so he gave me a mint. I talked to me and then sent me back to the classroom. Well, years go by. Oh, this is a cute, oh, look, that's a box of Band-Aids. How adorable. I did school nursing for just my clinicals, and I always put these cute little Band-Aids on the kids. There was one kid that kept saying he was sick, and I knew he wasn't sick. And I'm like, "Do you have a test today?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Are you trying to avoid the test? Get back up to the classroom." Well, you're not supposed to talk to the kids like that. So, uh, anyway, I passed my clinicals in school nursing, but it wasn't my favorite clinicals. It was not my favorite clinicals. But I did pass, thank you. However, I must say nursing school was a struggle. But anyway, let's get back to, um, his name was Angrave. That was his name. Principal Angrave. I just remembered. Okay, so I love Principal Angrave, and I always did bad things so that I could see Principal Angrave. Well, um, even in public school, what was happening was I would get my work done easy, work done early, and so they put me in advanced class. So I had advanced reading. I remember being in music, and I really just, there was 3 classes, but I just remember music and advanced reading. And I remember reading The Duck in the Pond. And me and David, I hated David. I wish I knew his last name. I'd look him up, but I didn't like David. Because I was running across the street one day to go to school, and his mother hit me by accident, but I got hit by a car. David's mother. But anyway, what I was getting at was we used to race who could read the fastest. And the book was called The Duck in the Pond, and it was a green book. So I would take it home and read it so I could read fast in school. And I remember doing that. David would read, and it would be a competition just between me and David because I didn't like David. And I'd go, "The duck in the pond, the duck, da, 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 da," and I would read really, really fast to try and beat David. So long story short, I was no longer bad in school because they stuck me in advanced classes. And I remember music, and I remember advanced reading. Music, I remember one time I was at the piano and I passed out. I fainted. I remember that. So that's all I remember about my advanced classes. So here we have a pediatric client. I'm trying to make heads or tails out of this one, Foxy. This looks like an IV bag. And this looks like the chamber, the IV chamber where the drips go in. But that's an awful big chamber. And it looks like she's holding a teddy bear. I'm trying to make, like I said, it looks like an IV bag. but it could be a plasma bag. But anyway, I'm sure I'm sure I'm missing the point. Um, Very cute picture. I love the hearts, Foxy. Totally love the hearts. I think it's an IV bag. Or is this a cup with a straw? Foxy, you gotta explain this picture. You gotta explain this picture. Cute picture though, I love the hearts. So anyway, guys, so fast forward. So Principal Angrave. My foster parents started their own Christian school. And oh, look at that. It says, oh, no, that's the other. I thought it said something on the page. Okay, hold on. So, okay, so let's look at this picture for a second. So, so my foster parents started their own Christian school, and I went to Christian school. Long story short, my education was questionable, to say the least. But anyway, while I was in nursing school, let me tell you this story. While I was in nursing school, so here's Annie. Nurse Annie went to nursing school, and she loved nursing school. So, but I had to work my way through nursing school. So I would work at night and go to clinicals in the morning, school in the morning. Guess who I took care of? Guess who I took care of years and years and years and years later? Principal Angrave. Principal Angrave's wife had dementia. Now, I don't recall if she was my teacher or not. But anyway, they're both passed away now. This is why I can talk about it. So I would stay and watch his wife all night because she's got dementia. Now, Mrs. Angrave would wake up in the middle of the night and go, oh, I got to grade the papers. So now that I'm thinking about it, she must have been a teacher at Indian Avenue School, and he must have been the principal, right? So anyway, what an amazing blessing. I saw him, and he had become a minister, and he was thinner. He wasn't as big, as rotund as I remembered him. So he either lost weight or he was never big to begin with. It's just little kids think that adults are huge. You know what I'm saying? So we laid eyes on each other. I said, Principal Angrave, do you remember me? And I told him about Indian Avenue School and how he used to give me mints. Ladies and gentlemen, he gave me the biggest hug, and he said, I told you could do better, because I was going to school to be a nurse when I came to his house. Isn't that cool? So I took care of his wife through the night while he slept. I remember my husband back then came and cleared his driveway. I remember it being snowy. So, we got to take care of the principal since the principal took care of me. And he hadn't changed a bit. All those years later, his daughter made me cupcakes to take to my clinical class. So Principal Angrave was still giving me treats so many years later. So, thank you, Principal Angrave. So this is dedicated to Principal Angrave. So yes, Principal Angrave, I did better. And here I am becoming a nurse. All because you gave me a mint and told me I could do better. The end. This page says, a nurse's heart beats for the well-being of others. Amen. Praise the Lord. Keep it Foxy! And that's what we're going to do. Thank you so much, Foxy, for this coloring sample. I really love and appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I noticed that you dedicated this coloring book to your, I guess, your mother. But I want to give a shout out to the person that got me this coloring book off of my wish list. Thank you very much. But since we made Storytime out of Nurse Annie, bold and easy Nurse Annie. I am bold. I don't know if I'm easy. I don't know. But thank you so much. Stay tuned for part 2, because I'm going to do a flip through Foxy Colorist's coloring book. Keep it foxy. All right, guys. God bless you, and see you in the next video.